Copper, you can run, but you can't hide when you are dragging a big streamer like that. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. You're tuned in live to the Wildcat Sanctuary. I see 2 of our 150 rescued residents, Copper and Archer, 2 rescued bobcats, enjoying another wonderful day of living wild at heart. Judson here.
Good morning, everyone.
Olivia here. Happy to be tuning in with some of our medium-sized rescues. Jessica Wynn, hello, TWS. Hey, Jessica. Thanks for tuning in today. I saw Torben is watching, and I was about to say thanks for Torbing in today. So that Torben, I kind of was had a little Freudian moment there. Welcome, everyone. Heidi Larkins is here. Hi, Heidi, checking in from sunny California. Sarah Bloomberg. Hey, Sarah. Hope all is well. Maria Vaughn saying good day, TWS. Good day to you, Maria. And I think if I get a little lower here, we'll be able to see both of Copper and Archer here. That's Archer up front, his buddy Copper in the background. Both of these guys enjoying some scented enrichment. Enjoying another day of living wild at heart, courtesy of your support, of course. Copper and Archer are, I think, 2 great examples of just some good old solid companions. Copper and Archer were able to be merged separately here after their rescue. Or I should say they're rescued separately and now merged. And one thing we often say here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, you like that, Mr. Archer, is that we like offering companionship to our rescues, but if they want it, and Copper and Archer being a great example, they wanted that companionship, and we've been able to really see how that companionship has really just kind of elevated the rescued life that they have here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and how happy we are about that. Belinda D. Hello, Belinda Dissinger. Hope all is well. Robin Enos, that's a fun little Bitmoji. Krista Christensen. Who else is here? Olivia, are you over there? You had your coffee
I was listening to Bogart. Bogart is a very vocal bobcat, and we're in a different part of the sanctuary, and I can hear him. I was trying to figure out who it was, but
Olivia's here.
Everyone.
Here in Bobcat Bogart, hoot and holler from across the sanctuary. Bogart is a very vocal bobcat, and I know that it's he hasn't yet had his meal for the day, and that also gets Bogart talking.
Theme here this morning is we were seeing lots of hungry cats.
Lots of hungry. On Wi-Fi, we had lost it for a second, but my phone's showing that we're back. Hey, Tammy Rayburn, thanks for joining us. Dave Lynch saying those poor cats are not going to have any snow to play in anytime soon. I think I'm going to have to sympathize with you on that and agree. I think that they're cats like Copper and Archer, bobcats, who, they can handle the snow. Frankly, they like the snow, like you mentioned. So I can agree that it's a little bittersweet that with this kind of odd Minnesota, here goes Copper flying through the background. Kind of this odd, unseasonal Minnesota winter we've had so far. Some of the cats that do like the snow, admittedly, are missing out on it.
Judson, you're Minnesotan. What's going on? What's going on with this weather?
What is going on with this weather? Well, they said, Olivia, that it was an El Nino year, which means, less moisture, more dry. Look at Copper. Less moisture, more dry. And so, I'm not a huge, kind of buying into the farmer's almanac. I think Mother Nature is going to act how she wants to act. But nonetheless, I think we are seeing some evidence of that El Nino year here in northern Minnesota and the Midwest, for that matter.
I think today is the coldest day for really the next 10 days.
Yeah, it was 12 degrees when I was coming into the office this morning, and we're going to be climbing back up above freezing. But, as we said, and as we'll stay, we're prepared for winter when it does show up. All of our snow equipment at the ready, plow truck ironed out and ready for the season. And, of course, have all of our heated buckets out and all that jazz. So, look at that. Marcy Sanborn, 60 degrees and very rainy in New Hampshire today. Kind of a dreary day. That's no fun. 60 degrees isn't too bad. 40 degrees in Wellington, Florida. We won't be too far behind that temperature, Faith, come later this week. And that's Bobcat. Oh, what's that, Olivia?
I was going to ask, do we know what they're watching? Are they watching their neighbors?
Well, that's kind of what I was wanting to see. Bobcat Bobcats, Copper, and Archer here, both. As we often see kind of on live posts, the cats are very curious about their surroundings. Oftentimes we call it, cat TV, be it lion TV, tiger TV, for any residents that, might attract the attention of some of our other rescues from their habitat. It's usually that or the one and only caretaker. And so it could be a human, it could be another cat up to no good. But glad that these boys are not only have their scent enrichment that we saw them having fun with, but a little visual stimulation from their surroundings. Ooh, I'll tell you what, Judson's fingers get a little cold when they're up on the side of the habitat wall here, Mr. Archer. I tell you that much. Woo!
We can always switch. That's what two people are good for.
That is true. Thank you for that, Olivia. And nonetheless, happy to have everyone with us today. It really is a wonderful Monday here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Had a morning meeting with the kind of development side of things here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And as always, especially as we're coming up on the end of the year, here's Mr. Sarge basking in the sunlight. We'll go over here. Especially coming up on the end of the year, there's always news to be shared and some especially wonderful news to be disseminated tomorrow, of course, first via our e-newsletter and then on social media accordingly. But also with the new year coming to a close and Christmas happening a week from today for those who celebrate the Christmas holiday, we of course have our 12 Days of Catmas countdown. We'll be continuing that today, Mr. Sarge. You look so handsome in the sun like that. We'll be continuing that today, as well as launching a little special initiative tomorrow to run us all the way through the end of the year.
Mondovi's out too. Yeah. It looks like the Bobcats are definitely handling this temperature very, very well.
Oh, that's a big yawn from a handsome man. Arr, arr, arr.
You chatty?
He says, I'm as big as a lion. If I think it, I am.
I have to agree, Sarge. You probably have one of the biggest personalities of any of our smaller.
Yeah, you are. He is a small little Bob, and Sarge, you have the personality that's about 100 times the size of your body, and I love it. Hey, Tanya Toner, thanks for joining us today, our neighbor in Wisconsin. Saying hi to the cats and Kiara the dog. Thanks for saying hi to Kiara.
And Glenn is up and moving around. He just went into the tree.
Nice.
On a skywalk.
I see someone getting excited about their 2024 calendar. Awesome to hear that. And for those who maybe haven't gotten their 2024 calendar, a little surreal. Truthfully, Sarge, this is kind of the first time I'm actually thinking about it. But 2024 is how many days
Very
away,
soon.
Olivia?
I know.
Yeah.
I realize Christmas is next Monday. So just a couple weeks.
Yeah,
wow.
About 2 weeks until 2024. Still plenty of time to claim your TWS calendar. Still plenty of time to maybe claim one for yourself, gift one out to another. However you want to slice it. 2024 is on its way, Mr. Sarge. Olivia was pointing out, I'll do my best. Maybe I can come over here.
Went into the tree, but I know that Glenn had a wellness exam last week. So
Yeah.
Be good.
Yeah.
Just to say hi to him briefly.
I agree. Yeah, that's Olivia pointing out that Sarge doesn't have this wonderful free-roaming habitat all to himself. He's got some bobcat friends, and that she spotted Glenn, who is a little bit more shy than Mr. Sarge. I can see him back on one of his favorite hiding spots on one of our skywalk systems, and that one's kind of placed in the furthest reaches of his habitat with some trees kind of covering him, and Glenn gets a lot of big sense of security from that space, and that handsome man, he deserves it. Yeah, and Olivia's exactly right too. We would have saw Glenn last week in our on-site hospital. He was just having a wellness exam. Glenn is happy and healthy, and as always, good to see them back here in their habitat after seeing them in our hospital. And I'm sure Bobcat Morgan, I'm kind of looking for her.
I was looking for her. She might be inside.
Yeah.
In this den right
I was going to say, she's probably inside, and I also know that Morgan loves her heated, insulated den, which is surely something I'm sure many of you see in the background of some of the photos and videos. Yes, they have an indoor space, And we also want to give them a space outdoors where they can stay warm. This might just look like a wooden box, but man, oh man, I think that thing's probably warmer than my apartment. It's insulated, it's heated, and it's fortified to keep any cat warm through the duration of winter. And glad that they have options. And that's one of the things that your support allows us to do, is give our cats options. And what option are you choosing today, Miss Arya and Mr. Mondovi? Mondovi says, I'm choosing to get up high and soak in some vitamin D. Let's see what you're doing up on that skywalk, Mr. Mondo. I'm going to catch up on some comments too here. Faith getting excited about seeing Mr. Glenn. It's always great to see. And Glenn definitely is one of our more shy rescues, so those moments certainly are special. And I always say, if if maybe those moments kind of fall flat for you because you don't know about Glenn and his story, I always encourage everyone to go to our website and take a look at Glenn's profile. You can read about his rescue. You can read about kind of his personality and how his wild at life journey has been going.
Well, you went on his rescue, Judson.
I did. I was able to rescue Glenn and Sarge after they were displaced by some fires in California, and unfortunately suspected that both of them weren't wild, that they were suspected to be captive-born bobcats that were let out. This wildlife rehabber in California at the time was running out of space because of wildfires in the state, and needed a forever home for those two bobs since they weren't candidates to live in the wild. And lo and behold, there's Sarge and Glenn. Boy, oh boy, they didn't make a peep the whole drive back. And of course, we were still checking on them. You guys were there for the live post too, doing water breaks and things like that. But those guys did great for I think it was 29 hours, Aria, when I punched it into Google Maps leaving from the rehabber. Hey, pretty girl, are you marching around? Yeah, she says, well, I just heard a UTV up, and I just want to make sure that they know a majestic hungry lynx is over here. I think, Olivia, we'll maybe peel around.
Yeah, go check on Bruno.
I was going to say, I'd love to maybe check in to see if we can catch a glimpse of Bruno and or Lloyd and or Fiona. And I know it's a little windy out here, so I'm doing my best to kind of cup my hands around the microphone, everyone. But having a blast visiting with some of our medium cat rescues, everyone. The Wildcat Sanctuary is actually home to a majority of small or medium cats. And always great to see those types of rescues. And truthfully, these types of rescues are the most impacted right now in the sanctuary world. If you were to talk to any sanctuary, what's the type of call that they're receiving the most? What's the type of news story that you're seeing the most in your headlines? What type of species are you seeing being exploited in your social media feeds? Small cats, bobcats, caracals, servals, hybrid cats. So I'm glad that we get to check in with some of those. But
they might not be ready to check in. They might be cuddling inside.
Yeah, that's exactly. Olivia saying they might not be ready to check in with us. And well, that's because that group knows that they have an awesome and warm and dynamic indoor space.
And they also love to cuddle in this den too, I know.
Yes, and I'm not seeing any spots or stripes in there. And truthfully, they are probably bundled up in a big old triplet cuddle puddle. That's Fiona, Lloyd, and Bruno. So at least they're days. I would love to catch it on camera, but we know disrupt her, and we just don't want to do that.
Warmer of a day. Lloyd would be up at the fence first. He likes to come say hi. Usually Bruno is in the background. And Fiona, if you look hard enough, she's back there too. So Lloyd is a confident little guy.
Yeah.
I love seeing him flourish in this habitat, flourish with new friends. And
Lloyd, and the things, Olivia, is that we talk about the merging process and the play dates and we're not saying yes all the time. We analyze some play dates with Lloyd with some of our other hybrids, and Lloyd is an F1 Savannah, which means he's 50% African serval and 50% domestic cat. Well, Lloyd was acting a lot more like a serval than he was a hybrid cat in some of those hybrid play dates. So, kudos to our expert caretaking staff for identifying that and finding some suitable companions for him. Even though Lloyd is a hybrid cat, he is living with full-blooded wildcats, a savanna living with African servals.
Now, we posted a photo of this scene last week, and it was much prettier and more put together than this.
Yes, we are seeing some aftermath of some holiday enrichment. We're at the habitat of Athena and Enzo, and it looks like they've been having a blast with their enrichment, but again, looks like a cuddle puddle is going to be taking place inside. I do see...
I think it's Athena.
Athena, maybe, who heard some people chatting outside of her habitat. So maybe we'll get a glimpse from Athena. But we're also near a habitat where we have to give an update. We have some cat moves that happened. So we got some documenting to do and some cat moves to share, but we won't do that just yet. And I don't think we're going to get a bobcat here, Miss Olivia.
Back inside.
So we'll keep on cruising. Keep on cruising. Catch a please. Connect. Maybe we'll do a full circle, check in on bobcats, Copper and Archer again. Well, I know I can sound like a broken record on live posts like today, but it's cold outside, and your support affords us not only to have these awesome outdoor spaces that keep our cats warm, keep our cats safe. And so on live posts, we'd obviously like to see all of our rescues in an easy fashion, but knowing that they are taking advantage of the options that your support has allowed them, well, I appreciate your guys' patience in these situations, and even more so appreciate you for making those types of things possible in the first place. I get the sniffles.
Are these boys out, or did they? No,
They're up to no good. I'm seeing both of those two boys. Yeah, I see you, Mr. Archer. I see you, naughty man. Yeah, and you're a big bobcat. You're a lanky bobcat, a tall one, too.
It seems like the blue and the purple were the most popular, Judson.
That's what it seems like.
And you sprayed those, correct, with perfume?
That's correct. Just a little perfume from our enrichment shed. I don't remember the flavor, Mr. Archer.
Flavor, yeah.
But it seems like it's doing the trick nonetheless. He's got his buddy Copper over there having a blast in the back. I gotta say, it's nice to that Copper is letting Archer kind of have some of the limelight here.
I know, we normally do see Copper first and foremost. Oh, Archer.
Yeah, but Archer says, hey, he says, you just wait. I'll show you who's the most crazy bobcat here.
They're both quite playful. I always hear caretakers. Usually these two are the guinea pigs with new types of enrichment because they're so willing to play and try things out.
Yeah. And I think just kind of in a few of those frames right there, you can see the look that Archer had in his eye. He kind of has those dilated pupils. His cheeks are wet from rubbing. He's having a blast, and it's wonderful to see those types of reactions. And obviously, the caretaker is giving all types of, look at that, Mr. Archer, giving them all types of enrichment, from certainly things that are more thought out with some scented paper like this, but still cool to see that it's simple but effective, Mr. Archer, is it not?
Morgan, their neighbor, is watching intently.
Okay, Morgan is out. I'd love to see Morgie.
She's right here.
I'm just looking at a few more comments, folks. We'll hang out for a little bit longer. It's a Monday. Gotta get ourselves a good live post in. Tomorrow is Vet Day. We're going to be doing a live post from our on-site veterinary hospital, as we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as, again, I kind of teased it earlier with some special news coming tomorrow, and Tammy's going to do a separate live post talking about that news as well. Copper, when is there something not happening at the Wildcat Sanctuary? And that's in the best way possible. because that just means that we have a lot of supporters out there who enable us to make all these things happen, and that is pretty darn cool, Copper.
And a lot of lucky rescued kitties.
And a lot, 150 rescued kitties, that is. So special. What do you think, Faith's asking, are there any updates on Mr. Clyde? Clyde's one of the new Minnesota Bobcats who we officially announced as a rescue resident, and then finding out that Claude was having some issues with diarrhea, frequently having diarrhea. We would have seen him in our on-site veterinary hospital with us doing a procedure to try to get him some good bacteria into his intestinal tract and digestive system. Faith, I could not speak on how Mr. Clyde's doing. Well, he's doing fine. I could not speak on the efficacy of the procedure and if they know that it was effective and when they'll know that it's effective.
I do think I overheard a little bit, and I do think it'll take a little bit longer for us to have a surefire answer.
Exactly. So that's where I'm going to defect to Tammy giving that answer, and I think that by Thursday, by her Wildcat wrap-up, we would have something more defined. So I don't want to speak out of school now, as we don't have much information to give. But Mr. Clyde's doing well, eating, is the same Clyde we know, but it was just those abnormalities in his bowel movement that wanted us to make an extra step to make sure he's comfortable. So we're in the middle of making that extra step, and appreciate you staying patient while we get that information back. What do you think, Mr. Copper? There's a lot of people calling you handsome. There's a lot of people saying how fun it is to watch two bobcats like you play around, and I couldn't agree more. You mischievous little man.
His coat has obviously changed quite a bit from his summer coat.
Oh,
When
yeah.
the light catches him, you can see that distinct red coloring.
Yeah, and Copper, too, we know. You know, I think a lot of times, Olivia just said, he has a red coloring to his coat, and his coat does particularly get red in the summer months. But a lot of people look at Copper, they see kind of that red coat, and Copper, that's probably how he got his name. And well, as a matter of fact, Copper got his name from one of his eyes. Copper has vision in both of his eyes, but one of the things that led to Copper coming here to the Wildcat Sanctuary is he was caught in a barn fire. And he was severely burned. Part of his inside of his mouth was burned. His belly was burned. And his eyes sustained a little bit of damage. Like I said, Copper does have vision out of both of his eyes, but one of those eyes now being a copper color as opposed to the normal kind of green or brown color. So Copper, that's where you got your name from, and you also kind of have a coppery coat.
It's a very fitting name.
It is. It is, Copper. Very much is. Olivia, I think I might zoom in on Mr. Archer here, and we'll kind of sign off here for the folks. Make sure I'm not missing any comments, any questions, any words of affirmation to us, Olivia. We need it on a Monday.
Affirmation. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, but hey, it's Monday, everyone. Wild to think that it's going to be Christmas next Monday, the 2024 year coming after that, with a lot to be thankful for in 2023, and a lot to look forward to in 2024, and a lot to get excited about cats, people, and all things Wildcat Sanctuary. But for now, I want to thank everyone for joining today. I'm going to ask you again to keep a close eye on your GWS radar, social media, and e-newsletter. Come tomorrow, we're going to be announcing a fun little something to round out the new year. We're still in our 12 days of Catmas, day 6 today. Hope that you guys will check out that post here on social media. But for now, Archer, Copper, look at Copper.
I know. You gotta quick glimpse.
Yeah, we gotta see what this old naughty boy's up to here. He has his, he's carrying it around. Oh, there's Judson here. He's carrying around his enrichment like a dog with a bone, and I think he's left it in his little hammock here. You keep having fun, Mr. Copper. And everyone have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Mr. Copper.